Welcome to The Neighborhood, a show where a mother and her daughter talk about business, community, and everything in between. Now hop aboard the trolley and let's go.
Hey everyone, it's Gina, and this is Taylor with Extensions.
April Fools!
Okay, do you recognize her? It's been a while.
It's been a long time. It's Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey, aka the Shreklet.
Hey, the Shreklet. You're the only one who still
I
calls me
do
that.
know there are a lot of people who say, "How's the Shreklet?" And I
Yeah.
said, "Well, you know, she's married with 2 children now, so do we still call her the Shreklet?"
I'm an old hag.
Now she's the old housewife, which you are finally employed.
Yes.
And I say finally, you really weren't looking for that long. It did seem like it.
It seems like it, even though it's technically like a little maternity leave.
Yeah, you were on maternity leave, quit your other job, found this job,
and now I'm back.
Got an au pair.
Back in action.
Learning Portuguese.
So much has changed.
So much has changed. She's so mature now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Is your room clean now?
Honestly, spotless.
So she's growing up, people. Kind of getting a little teary-eyed. Are you still hiding your clothes in the bathtub?
Yeah. And you know, it's a great trick for anyone out there. If you're wanting your house to look clean, just shove anything you can, either in your bathtub, under your sink,
I wouldn't
under
choose
couch
under
cushions.
the oven.
Maybe
Don't
not
do
in
the oven because you'll forget, and then you'll turn on the oven and burn everything.
But that is the key, especially with kids. If you want your house to look clean, lots of storage. We got storage cabinets everywhere. Shove the toys in.
That was her trick as a teen. She would say, I'd say, you can't leave until you clean your room. And then in 5 minutes, she goes, okay, it's clean. I was like, there is no way. I walk in and it's spotless. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm no dummy. I'm going to be Sherlock Holmes here. And I walk around and I just see the bathtub curtain barely move. And I was like, aha.
But you know what? That's called ingenuity.
I mean, I should have given you credit.
Yeah.
Props for being smarter than the average teen because everything was in the bathtub. So anyway, welcome back.
Thank you.
Taylor,
feels good to be back.
Taylor's back from her world travels, but she was packed with calls. Oh, now having these daughters who work.
Can't believe we don't work for you.
Yeah.
Slave employment.
Exactly. I need cheap slave labor.
Yes.
Yes. So it's great to have you here and fun because something happened this week that prompted this topic today. Last week. Today's only Tuesday. Last week, Bailey looked at me and said, you should be ashamed.
And she should be. And I stand by that.
She said, your Instagram looks like trash.
The Village Instagram.
Well, mine doesn't look any better.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, although mine is all photos.
Yeah.
So
here's
in that
what happened.
case,
I helped open this space, was part of a large part of the design portion. It's such a beautiful space. There's so many amazing people. Then I took a hiatus because I went away. I ended up working for a tech company, was working from home. Then I had 2
always
children.
in marketing. Yeah.
Lots happened. And then I came back to the space with a fresh perspective, like fresh new eyes. No, in a good way.
Yeah.
But I came back to the space now to work at the space, like not to work for the village, but at the village. And I had this new sense of appreciation of, oh my gosh, this space is amazing. Like I've always knew it was amazing, but like coming from a different perspective also of, oh wow, it feels really good to escape my 2 children, crazy dog, messy house, like to come in and work and actually be productive. This space is amazing.
It is beautiful.
Like it's so beautiful. It's so perfect. And I actually have friends who work at some other co-working spaces and they don't like it. They're like, yikes, it's too quiet. It's very stale. It's whatever. And the village is so amazing. And I'm not just saying that like to plug the village. Like, seriously, I'm so excited to be working here. And it's so pretty and there's so many spots. And then I look at the Instagram, moment of silence, so bad. And I can say that. Like everyone's been too nice to you. Oh, Gina, you're marketing expert.
Yeah.
So bad. So I had to be the bully.
She is known. So all your life, if I want an honest opinion, I always ask Bailey because she'll say, no, that looks like trash together. Or no, those shoes don't go with that. Whereas Taylor.
And I do it out of love.
You do it out of love. And Taylor will say, that looks great.
You look beautiful.
You look beautiful.
You look beautiful.
It's like Dad. No matter what I put on, you look beautiful.
John does the same.
I need an honest opinion. Let me ask Bailey.
Yeah.
And Bailey will say, no, that looks horrible together. And so she looked at our Instagram and Facebook and said, this looks like trash. And you should be embarrassed.
And And you
I
should.
should. And to tie into something, yesterday I had a great call. Sharice Duncan, who's getting an advanced degree in marketing, and she wanted to interview entrepreneurs, and she knew I had been in marketing for years, and she's interviewing me and asking, how important is social media to your business as a brick and mortar? And I said, it's interesting. It's so different. Everything I used to preach to clients was
so different.
Send us photos, and we need content. I need your intellectual property. Get all your content and post every day and write blog content every week. And I said, the reality is, as a small business and starting this, you don't have time. You don't have time. So then I hired a virtual assistant to help me. So let's just say we got a little lazy, and our social media. And if you want an example, you go to look at our Instagram and look at
Scroll
2
back a
weeks
week.
ago, and you'll see what laziness looks
Well,
like.
no, here's the problem. Just because you're told you should post every day, maybe you shouldn't post every day. If that's what it looked like, a bulletin board.
And that is what it became. It became just all of our events and all of our members, but in a graphic.
Here's a text graphic about the latest Galentine's. Here's this. So when you look back at the page, it's like, it's all text.
Terrible.
It's all text. It's all graphics. And even if the graphics were branded colors and like good graphics, it's not like the graphics were not your colors.
They were great for, like you said, a bulletin board. They were great for flyers. They were great even for a newsletter. That would work. But you made a good comment this morning, was basically graphics are dead.
Graphics are dead. And I said it. And I stand by it.
You said it in front of a bunch of us. We were all saying that. You go, graphics are dead. And then there was just this pause. And you go, I said it.
Yeah, I said it.
I said it. Graphics are dead.
Because here's the thing. I feel like a few years ago, Canva was born.
And Canva changed our world.
Canva changed our world in the best way.
Yeah.
Like, social media used to be amazing because you could create these cute graphics. And this is also interesting.
Shout out to Nikki.
Hi,
Nikki, take notice this, because you're in there with me, girl.
Yeah, you guys are all in there. And I'm here to bully each and every one of you.
I've hired a bully.
Because here's what.
Take us all on.
And it's a fresh perspective. I'm not a Gen Z, but I'm a zillennial. So I have the credentials. And
you are not a zillennial.
I am. I'm the very last year to be a millennial.
So that makes you a zillennial?
Yes.
Then what does that make me? I'm a millennial.
You're a boom X.
Boom X. No, I'm not a boomer. I'm a Gen X. A boomer. I'm a Gen X cusp.
She's a boomer, but it's all right. And so here's the thing that happened. Instagram specifically used to be very
well, it's graphics.
Yes, but I want to say, like, not aesthetic, but your grid really mattered. Like, you wanted
everyone
this,
had this
pretty grid or an organized
pink,
grid.
rose gold
yes,
grid.
and very picture, pink graphic picture.
Yes,
picture.
It was very patterned.
It was patterned. It was very like graphic, visual. It was like colors, and it was very staged. That's kind of the word I'm looking for. And
curated.
It was very curated, very staged. Those pages now, what's interesting, that is like not the style anymore.
Dead.
So it's graphics are dead, because you go to those pages and it's like, we're doing graphics? Like Instagram, TikTok, Reels, they're so visual.
And when you say visual,
I say visual,
that's not graphics.
No.
That's photos.
And what's interesting is very uncurated. If you look at any Gen Z's content, it's wild. For example, so we have an au pair. Her name's Issa. Shout out Issa. She's amazing. She's 19 years old. So she is like Gen Z, cutie pie, like such a cute girl. She's a cool girl. Like, she's in the know. We went on a trip to Breckenridge. This is a great example. We went on a trip to Breckenridge, and, beautiful mountains. I took so many cute pictures of like her and her cute outfit in the mountains in the background. What did she post? What was her Instagram post? It was like 5 pictures, like photo dump. Do you know what a photo dump is?
Like when you put them all in one carousel.
Photo dump.
AKA
and it was literally
carousel.
Like a close-up of a picture of her crepe by a fireplace. Like, not aesthetic. Then the next picture was like a tree with an icicle on it. And then the next picture was like her, and it was really cute. And then the next picture was like a close-up of coffee with the ground. Like, very almost like just those are what she posted. And if you look at any Gen Z's content, that's what they're posting. Not overly edited, not overly filtered.
Which is another thing that is dead, is the overly filtered.
For sure is
Thank
dead.
goodness.
Yeah, I agree. And not even just filters of like smoothing your skin, whitening your teeth. That's dead also, but like
just the colored filters.
The colored
photo
filters.
light box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are dead. And it's interesting. If you that's your homework, is go to a cool Gen Z's Instagram. Or like a cool, and by Gen Z, it could be like a younger brand. Like if you go to, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Skims,
Yeah,
very
but the-
hip.
Yeah, but
That's a product.
yeah, and that's like very overly curated.
Well, it's a product.
But
so
it'd be
they're
like
showing there.
Poppy or
That's a good one.
like there's these brands out there that it's not overly curated, and obviously these larger brands are going to be more put together, more curated, and they have full blown like studios in house. Why are you
Right.
snickering?
Because you know what? I'm wearing my glasses so I can actually read the comments. Hi, Kathy. Yeah. Kathleen. I've always just said, you know what, Kath. Hey, Kath.
That's your nickname on a nickname
Kathleen,
basis.
Yes, is saying you girls are spot on. I'd much rather see you in person than on the internet. So it's like, yeah, seeing real, real.
And seeing real things, seeing behind the scenes, but not. And I'll use this space as an example because I've now been posting for over a week. It's so easy. The content is there. Like there does not. And I think this is like very important because I think I was talking to Taylor about this. She was like, "Yeah, I just got so overwhelmed by the Instagram, and I didn't have the time to plan, and I didn't have time to have the strategy." But I think it used to be very overwhelming. I honestly think like take a deep breath, everybody, because Instagram
easier.
is so much easier. It seems like it's gotten more complicated because oh no, now it's reels and it's videos, and how am I going to keep up?
And stories,
it's
and do I
like
need
a
this?
lot easier, and here's why. For example, I went in, I was like, oh. It's so cute how Cam writes a message every day on the coffee cup.
The coffee pot.
I'm going to take a quick video of me pumping the coffee with his cute note, add music, boom, posted. And it like gives a little insight of like, it doesn't have to be this like headshot of someone in the space or like this perfectly curated
a boomerang.
video.
Remember all the boomerangs?
Yeah. Like
boomerangs.
It's literally just such a simple of like, looking through the lens of a new person at the village, like how nice is it that someone writes a message on the coffee? Like, let's post that. Or I posted on the story of like, there was the library in here is amazing. And there's this little sunny spot and there's a sunny spot and it was hitting a plant. And I took a picture and I was like, sunny spots.
Oh, is that where that picture was taken?
Like it's just such cute pictures and it's giving insight into if I was an outsider looking at your business page, what am I learning? Okay, I'm learning she has a nice headshot and no personality. That's what I'm learning.
That's what most people say.
And but like, show me your personality that maybe you don't think others care about. Maybe it's the things you don't think others care about. Because do you remember when like you'd post a picture from your desk and it would have to be like the marble laptop case and
you
your
had your
pins
glasses.
had to be lined
I would put
out.
my glasses right
like,
there.
Actually, like people kind of want to see the mess. And for example, video. I don't think you should be intimidated by a video. You should actually think, wow, it's so much easier because instead of having to set up a picture. For example, day in the life of a community manager at the village. Cam, take his phone. He goes in, he closes his car door. He opens up the village. Someone's smiling at him. He gets coffee. He sits at his desk. You had music. And like, that's such a cute video and an insight into the day in the life of something. Like, that's interesting content.
So I do think it's interesting because I'm trying to think how many years ago it was that I wrote an article, quit using crappy graphics, because graphics, the kind that are just so stale,
like stock
photo, stock photo, Shutterstock,
those should be illegal.
They should be illegal because they're
if you're look me in the eyes. If you're still using like stock photos, jail, straight to jail. You should not be using stock photos. $200. Like honestly, I get the concept because you're wanting real people on your pages.
Well, I think like, sometimes you're trying to get a message across of and I just did this where I wanted to do one of an event that's coming up, like Nikki's event with mimosas, and
is it on
another
Instagram?
one is tea.
Let me take a look.
I think it's on Facebook.
Let me have the bully take a look because
on Facebook we're a little bit older.
The village Facebook
live
the village.
And I had some stock photos of mimosas, and I had some stock photos.
OMG.
Yeah, this. Oh yeah, this.
Oh gosh.
I know. So I'm going to get bullied even here.
Okay.
But
let me ask you a question. This is for the audience. This is the picture in question. This is the picture in question. No, hold on. Okay, now tell me what the event's about. From your perspective, what are you trying to promote?
that there's a tea coming up. And if you spot Nikki, spotlight,
and if you spotlight Kim, everyone will want to work here.
That's right, Nikki.
Hilarious.
We should have our bus coming. Nikki said we should have a bus. Kim could drive the bus. Everyone would get on it.
Seriously, like Cam is so charming. He's so handsome. He's so just so nice and so genuine. Such an amazing person. And every girl's like, Cam's here. Woo. But like, okay, even if you don't have a model like Cam work at your business, like you can still do this. But this is a great example. Oh my gosh. Okay. So tell me, just in your words, this is a good case study, everybody. This is going to be a good example. Tell me what the event is.
That one is about a nonprofit here, Refined, and they are doing a fashion show and tea to have some of the women who were pulled from local trafficking situations where the Arapahoe County gets involved. So it's highlighting the success stories of these women, but we don't have their pictures.
Okay, no problem. Because
we're doing a tea.
To me, this is telling me, okay, boring stock photos of a fashion show. We have a stock photos of a mimosa. Like, I get what you're doing because you're like, oh, there's gonna be mimosas. Here's this. But like, as an outsider, when I'm looking at that, like, that looks like a community center event. Is that mean?
That's mean.
It is mean, but I kind of.
I
am mean, but I kind
of. She's always been like this. Ask Taylor.
Here's the problem. Maybe in your text, you're writing the amazing thing that you just told me. Like, that's an incredible event.
Yeah.
But like, am I gonna stop scrolling when I see this? Like, probably not.
The audience is yelling, and Nikki's right in the front. Bailey, help us all. Help us all.
Because no, but I just think it's so true that like this probably took a lot of time, and like you did look for photos, and you're the idea is there, but it can be something as like a 10-second video of you describing what the event is.
True.
And like what you just told me, like literally was a 10-second clip. It's like, oh, that actually sounds interesting. I want to go to that. And instead of, and it is hard. And I will say certain businesses are harder than others. Like the co-working space Instagram is so easy.
Yeah, it is
because
easy.
It's right there. I'm taking pictures. Yeah. If it's a product, it's right there. It's taking pictures. But
our cute monkey lamb.
Yeah, like there's fun stuff in here. So I understand that it's easier, but it's like, get comfortable with video. But even like, I'm trying to think of, has this event been done in the past? Or is there a photo you could use from the past? Has it not?
It was, but in a different way. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think like this is such a crazy, cool
event.
And
Nikki's got one coming up, Moms and Mimosas.
Yeah.
And this is to help moms who struggle with postpartum, and it's bringing young moms together.
And it's like, here's what I would do. This is like a good rapid
Nikki, here's
fire.
what you should
here's
do.
what I would do.
Hot
is because who are you talking to first of all? You're talking to the moms
and people who want to help get involved and contribute.
Okay, so like for example, you're talking to a mom who's postpartum and they're maybe struggling, or you're talking to a mom who has maybe an older mom and has older children, but they've experienced this and they want to help and they want to do things. Like, what's a niche, not joke, but like even something like you could say like stop scrolling, like it kind of gets their attention. Like stop scrolling. Are you? I need more context, but like.
This is an important event coming up.
Like, would you listen to that? No. Like, stop, like, something inside.
Stop scrolling. Are you a mom?
But, like, something like that. Like,
okay, so I could be on QVC.
Yeah. No, like, I think, like, so, something of, and again, I would need more context into something, but, like, what's something very niche to a postpartum mom that, like, only a postpartum mom is going to understand? Like, that's what, like, I am a current postpartum mom. Like, my reels are all funny, like, mom things of, like, stop scrolling, or raise your hand if you only got 4 hours of sleep last night.
There
like,
you go.
And that, like, grabs their attention.
Or maybe show them one of your kids crying.
Maybe don't showcase one of your kids crying on social media, but something like that of, like.
Which I did just hear. Moms who are using their kids on social media,
yeah,
they just
like
passed some big laws
yeah.
that you have to, because of all the Utah moms, they said.
Well, and there's some like dark cases of bad scenarios.
Really bad.
But like,
so don't show your kids.
It's like, who's the audience? How can I grab their attention? Like, postpartum moms, that's such an amazing, like, there is such niche humor in that.
True.
And it's like, raise your hand if you only got 4 hours of sleep last night. Or
and maybe you have 4 cups of coffee in front of you.
Yeah. Like, there's ways to get creative and to showcase things in very simple ways. And like, you don't need to overthink of like, I need to create this beautiful graphic and I'm not good at Canva and I'm not good at graphics. It's like, no, think about who the audience is. Think about how you can reach that niche very easily. And like, it doesn't have to be this fancy.
And a little dash of humor usually helps, depending on the event and your business.
Yeah.
But a little dash of humor. And Cynthia, who has all this beautiful jewelry. This one right here.
Said, do you need a mimosa? Of course.
Yeah. Do you need a mimosa? Yes, that's a great one.
Do you need a reason to put on makeup and clothes and feel like a real human? Come to this event. Yeah. And also, look, there's a great cause. I just think you got to think, speak to the niche instead of being so worried about my graphic has to be pretty, or I have to get the idea across that there's going to be mimosas and I'm doing a stock photo. It's like, no, speak to your audience, add some humor, do something funny. And so Cynthia said,
Okay, Cynthia has jewelry, and
she
she's
said,
saying,
I'm bad at pictures, and
And
that's why I
yet-
don't do them.
and yet all she has is amazing jewelry.
Okay, but that's a
Cynthia.
fair critique because no.
Cynthia,
It's
take lots of pictures
it's
of
a
your
fair
jewelry.
concern that people say like I'm not a good photographer, and it's like if you have an iPhone, you're a good photographer.
And that is another thing. People always think they need expensive equipment. Your
and
iPhone
all the photographers
is
out here are
so
like,
good.
no, they're
Yeah.
cringing. Yeah, there's a difference, and there's a time and place. Like for example, at the Village, they did that flyover drone video, and
True.
they did like that content's amazing.
Our dog video with
and
the
like that
GoPro
content's
was
amazing on
great.
the website, and that content there's time and places for that. But like if you have a camera, like there are great ways. And if you have jewelry, oh my gosh, Cynthia, I'm jealous because you could have so many creative ways. And it doesn't have to be on your hand. Like, can it be on the table and there's like a pretty plate in the background? And it doesn't have to be this overly staged thing, but it's like,
Make
okay,
people
for
drool.
example, like, okay, Cynthia, here's an idea for you. Is like,
This should be just a weekly thing of just hot seat with Bailey.
yeah, like, okay.
Let her bully you. Give us
comment your business problems and I'll
comment
solve
your business problems.
No, but like,
She's gonna
okay,
bully you
I think
into
about this.
fixing it.
Here's like a very simple off the top of that. It does not have to be this like big production. Do you have a jewelry box or something simple like that? It can be a small jewelry box, big jewelry box. And it's just like a video of like, ooh, let's see today's gems.
Which ring do you want to wear today?
Yeah, like which ring should I pick, left or right? You vote. And it's
Which
like you open the box.
Do love still having your audience.
Yeah, it's funny because I always comment on a poll. Even
You
if it
like
has
this
nothing
one
to-
or this one?
Like,
Yeah.
okay, here's my outfit. Which ring should I wear today? You open the box, there's 2 rings. Or if you're not comfortable showing yourself or your outfit, that's fine. But open the jewelry box. Let's see today's gems, today's pretties, like something simple and cute. And it's like, oh wow, that's a cute ring. And that's
Another thing that I think is a trend with those younger kids,
those youths,
those young whippersnappers, is very little text.
very little text.
I write, a post.
Yeah, like who has? Okay, here's another question for you. It's time to be bullied again. This is the caption. Would you read that?
Well, I would because it's all very important.
But if you didn't know anything about the event, would you read that? No, she doesn't even read her emails. If you're sending her emails, she's not reading them, people. Like too long, did not read. And that's literally the point. Like you're the whole point of
I'm
social
sweating
media.
for you.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. I'm in a hot seat for you.
Like this caption is not like. And here's the thing: there is time and place for text. Like if you need the address or you need the time or you need the information, like obviously it should be there. But like if the overall purpose is to capture your attention, like this isn't doing it for me.
Now I'm going to actually throw in something about people still are putting links in their Instagram posts, which you cannot click on.
Oh, in the captions.
In the captions, and
use
so
the stories.
Here's what I always do too: is make sure you do take your photo and put a QR code. If you need people to click over to something, put a little thing in the corner with your QR code if they're registering for something, or click here to register, click here to
or
get more
head to
info.
the link in my bio to go. Like make sure.
I don't. When people say link in my bio, I'm like, no.
Oh, I do.
It's too overwhelming.
I do.
I know you do the work.
You have to tell them where to go. So I do agree that there's a time and place for text, but like
and those people who say if the thing is on your phone and has a QR code, people go, oh, you can't scan with your phone on a QR code that's on your phone, and yes, you can.
Oh, see, I don't.
You can. You can now zoom in on it, and your
I think
phone
the QR code, like that's a
go
little
to
daunting. Like everything I said that was simple, like that's
well.
But
if you're in Canva, people, you can go in and put the link in Canva, and it puts a QR code. You don't have to go make a QR code.
Okay, sorry, I'm just brainstorming on because I want to give a tangible example. Like this is the spring tea fashion show. I'm just reading more about it. Like have a fun video of like you saying like, it's springtime and like. Sorry, I had this idea in my head and then I just said it. I was like, what?
Mom brain, mom fog. Do you need a mimosa? Yes.
Yeah.
Right now.
I just think and again, of course, it's going to be case by case and there's different things, but I think social media has become so daunting for people because it's always been told you need to create the perfect graphic. You need to be a professional photographer.
Yeah.
Sorry if you can't hear me. My microphone was very far away from my face. And it really, I'm trying to take the stress away of like, it shouldn't be that daunting. Like, and I'll show you the difference of, I like how I'm like showing the screen. I hope you can even see this. I don't even know if you
I can
So
see
this
it.
is the before of the Instagram. Like lots of text, lots of.
That's ugly.
But like, okay.
And and a lot of times people give us a flyer to promote an event and we take
and
it.
you know
and
what
put it
I
on
would
social.
do
It's like,
is
oh,
like we should be saying, okay, instead of the flyer, can you send me can I record you 10 seconds talking about the event?
Oh, that's a good one. Do a
Show
10-second video.
do 10-second video.
And then a
also,
10-second video
I-
can go on a story.
I will also say to people,
and a
if you're
post.
feeling afraid to do video or you don't want to show your face and you want to do it, I urge you to try, because you're holding yourself back and your business back if you're not.
And
doing
here's
these
what I
things.
used to tell people about video. If you're afraid to do video, just get over it. People say, I don't like the way I look on video. I go, but guess what? It's the way you look in person. I know. That's
No,
me.
but-
You see where she gets the bullied.
Yeah, jeez.
But if you're going, I don't like the way I look on video, but this is what people see normally.
Yeah,
so
and
be
like
okay
if,
with that.
okay, like
Be
if,
okay with
for
that.
example, if you're selling jewelry at a booth, like you're confident enough to show up to the booth and be excited to show your face at a booth. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And like, I think of it as like, think of your social media as, okay, someone's walking down the street at a farmer's market. What makes you stop at a booth? If there was a big sign that was a lot of text, like, you're going to stop at that booth? No. But if someone's like, I'm handing out these fun samples, or I'm doing these fun things, or look at me, look at this fun thing. We have fun music at the booth. We have fun, like, think of it that way. And I think sometimes we get so bogged down in what our content is saying, and we don't realize how it's coming across to the audience. And like, especially social media. And we've been talking a lot about events. Like, event posts are a different beast, and like maybe those do require videos or more information, but like your day-to-day things should be so simple. Like,
Pictures,
so
day in the life.
simple. Pictures, day in the life, simple things. And again, it's hard to do that with certain businesses, but like there are ways to
I
do
was
it.
trying to think of that. If you have a business that relies on pictures of other people, like Nikki's Yana, it's not like you can put pictures of, some of the moms might let you, moms and their babies. But you could show a messy living room. You
For
could
sure.
show and just take a picture of I'm trying to think, because you can't necessarily show the picture, or like,
But
in
like Yana has so
Refined,
many
they
great
can't.
events that like, how can you pull from the resources, the photos you've taken at the events? How can you repurpose those? How can you use those?
What do you think about staging a photo shoot of moms
Yeah.
just for the
Or
specific
like, do you
use
know moms
of
of like,
social content?
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think there's some really niche ways to do that, but like there's so many good ideas, and sometimes you forget who your audience is. And I'm not talking to you, Nikki. I keep using, like, we're
Well,
acting like we're just ripping her page
No,
apart. I haven't even seen
no,
her
we're
page. I
actually
have no
giving
idea.
good ideas.
Yeah, I
haven't
have
seen.
no idea.
And Jessica says yes, and Odelia, yes.
Nikki said,
Videos.
I sent you photos. Where? What does that mean? Help.
You sent me photos just now, Nikki, or did you send me photos? Or you did send me a flyer. You sent me a flyer that has some pictures.
And again, like, I'm coming from this very hot, like, again, it's fine, calm down. Like, people are gonna read your
She
content.
got worked up looking at our
I did get worked
Instagram.
up because I'm like, oh my gosh.
And
But
rightly so.
and I agree
know
it's hard,
better.
but I'm here to encourage everyone that it's like, you don't need these overly curated things. You don't need to be a professional. Like, it's very
Well,
simple. Like, even like
And
Nikki,
keep
like,
in mind, you don't have to do it every day.
you don't have to do it every day.
Yeah.
That's true. But I would say, like, you can do it every day, and it is great to do it every day. And it doesn't have to be this like perfectly curated thing.
I love it. Nikki said just now, I sent you some photos.
Hilarious.
We're using them, and we're going to do a 10-second video, Nikki.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like, Nikki's a good example. We're
Because it's
Nikki-
a great example of Nikki's got this amazing cause.
and
Great
Nikki, you're like
events.
the most amazing personality. Like, Brady, your dog alone. I'm like, Brady, like,
And
how-
she's the poster child for doing all the right things to get people to show up to these
yeah, and
events.
it's like, you're the face behind the brand, the spirit behind the brand, the heart behind it. Like, how can you showcase that? And it can be something so simple of like, you a picture of your desk and be like, I'm so excited for this event coming up. Like, maybe showcase your excitement. It doesn't
Sure.
even have to be this like video of like, let me talk about the event or whatever. It can literally be like, let's say you're working on some of the things with events. It could be something boring, like you have vendors and you're working whatever, but like, take a picture and be like, so excited about this event coming up. So many big things happening. Like, just so behind the scenes of like, okay, if you're excited, then I'm going to be curious about the
True.
event. And maybe you don't even say a ton about the event, but it's like, so excited to be prepping for this event. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Simple. It doesn't have to be a post every day about the event, but
True.
anyways.
Yeah. Do you feel better getting that out? I thought, you know what? She was harsh. She was harsh. And I was like, I know. And then she said, I'm taking it over. And I was like, in my brain, she's going to do it for free. I should let her.
Yeah. And it's just like,
So the bullying paid
also
off.
just like have fun with it. I think sometimes it's like, you can feel like social media is so overwhelming and so hard and so this, and it's like, reignite that excitement, because like, you'll be surprised the second I said I'm taking it over and I told people are like, I have pictures I
Yeah.
can take for you.
Everyone,
And-
suddenly everybody starts sending her pictures.
Yeah.
Where were they when I was doing
But it's like the
social media?
excitement of like, you guys, this space is so cool. Send me a picture of a plant. Send me a picture of like literally you getting coffee today. Send me a picture. Like these are the things
The place
that
you're
are,
working at. What little corner are you working at today?
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just like, it's so fun doing the Instagram. And again, I understand like our page is so much easier. I would always get frustrated when we
know.
were on social media accounts and it's like, yeah, well,
There are there
a,
are easy brands.
I'm
and there are
working with a
harder.
tax accountant. Like
Yeah.
it's a little harder.
But even that, I think of, okay, a bunch of pencil sharpening done while you're sitting at your desk and you're like chewing on your pencils or
Okay, so don't listen to her.
no, it's tax time.
First of all, that's giving eye stock energy.
That's real.
Who uses pencils anymore? Who uses pencils that you have to sharpen anymore?
Oh, there's a lot of people who use pencils.
Comment if you use a pencil. I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
But like,
Defend the pencils out there. Jolene,
Jolene. She's so annoyed when we do that. She's like, you guys, I
every
hate
time
you.
we do Jolene.
It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's
The
Jessica.
struggle is real. I've had to take over a few campaigns recently for the same reasons. Yeah, it is hard. I'm not saying it's like easy, but I'm
Odelia used the pencil. Shout
okay.
out to you, Odelia.
Curious. Do you use ones that you have to sharpen and you can chew on, or is it a mechanical one? Let me know.
Oh, Jessica, I started posting again on an app I hadn't before, and I don't have real life friends. Oh, that you don't have friends on that app. I joke that I'm in the witness protection program.
It's been really fun to have that creative outlet again, and my confidence is growing. It's been a great reminder that social media isn't for anyone but yourself, and I'll find who is meant for. Okay, so true too.
Very true.
Because sometimes you get like, you look at another person's page and you're like, oh, they're so good and there's a professional and I could never do this. It's like, how can you do it in your own way and what can you get excited about? And if you can't find anything to get excited about, you should reevaluate like you and your business and your everyday life.
Sometimes it's just you need a fresh pair of eyes.
Yeah.
Like I just got to the thing of going, I'm too busy. Mm-hmm. All right, just post events on there, get messages out there. But then all of a sudden fresh eyes come in going, you have so many things you can do.
And that's a good activity of like, either ask someone around you who knows your business or maybe doesn't know it super well, whatever, like, what's something I should showcase? What's something that's cool? What's something that's exciting about this? And even just a fresh perspective, try to do it in your own brain of like, okay, I'm an alien coming down and I'm seeing this business. Like, what is cool about the business? What is cool about my jewelry? What's unique about my jewelry? Or, Yana, like, why is this so important?
Yeah.
And you're taking a picture now and you're trying to be subtle and it wasn't subtle. Just want to let you know.
I'm taking a picture, then I'll share that.
No, but I think
Captain Obvious.
No, but like, listen, like I'm on a soapbox and I just got knocked off. I forgot what was I saying. But like, Yana, like this is such an important cause, but like maybe and this is such an important event, and this, like human trafficking event. This is such an important event, but also like, why should people care, or what is fun about this event? Maybe pulling them in from other ways. And again, I keep using events as an example, as a bad example, because events are a whole nother beast.
Yeah, it's another.
But like, why is your product special? Why is your service special? And like, really think about it. Like, what makes this special? What makes it unique? And then how can I show the behind the scenes? How can I just showcase? And it doesn't have to be on a boring Canva graphic with a bunch of text. Like, you can still get your message across.
Now we keep talking about Instagram.
Yeah.
These work on Facebook. These work
when I say
TikTok?
Instagram, I'm just saying social media platforms. It could be, there are ways you're going to have to cater your content in different ways.
Which you do, going back to kind of beginning strategy, is find out where are most of my customers.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. So for example,
try to be everywhere.
And for example, I'm going to use my friend's company, Fireman Movers Company.
Oh yeah.
So
Fireman Movers Company, shout out to Amanda and AJ.
Shout out to Amanda and AJ. But so my friend has a moving company and it's great. And there's so many fun things you can do.
If you want firefighters to show up at your house and move your furniture, you'll move a lot more.
Exactly. But so like, obviously there's fun ways to showcase these on Instagram, but yeah, maybe you should spending some time on your Instagram content, but actually most of your time should be spent on your Google reviews.
Yes.
Because like, if I'm going to look for a moving company, you have to think like your customer.
Yep.
Am I going to go search on Instagram moving company? Maybe.
However, guess what? Your Instagram business profile, you should be posting photos all the time.
You mean Google?
Did I say Instagram? Sorry. Yeah. Oops. Google. Your Google profile should have lots of images posted on an ongoing basis, like once a week,
Yeah.
post photos.
And I think like sometimes we get excited by shiny Instagram, ooh, shiny social media.
Because we
But
like
actually, like,
scrolling.
think
Yeah.
about if you're going to find a moving company, are you going to go to Instagram? That's probably not going to be your first search engine.
Correct.
It's probably going to be Google reviews or word of mouth or something like that. So how can you grow your content and put the content out there? And again, if you're adding Google pictures, it can be those fun photos and everyday photos.
Yeah.
And here's another example. Like, let's say you're a chef. Like, maybe TikTok is not going to be, or sorry, not TikTok. Maybe Twitter's not going to be your best place. Maybe Google reviews aren't going to be your best place if you're, well, actually it would be if you're like
Yeah.
selling cupcakes, but like Pinterest, think about Pinterest. Like, how can, if I'm looking for a recipe, how can I do it? So like, just think of other avenues. You don't have to be, and again, this is
But
like
where
an old
are your
conversation that we've said,
customers? Yeah.
but where are your customers and what kind of content
And
are they
spend your
looking
time
for?
there.
And you know, it's also interesting. I've actually been thinking about this of like, who are your customers is important too. So for example, some of the posts, I want to do this like tiny, pretty aesthetic text. And I'm like, 60% of the audience like needs to put on their glasses to see this. So I've been using a thicker, bolder font. I'm serious.
Good for you.
So like
because she used to post things, I go, I can't even see that.
so like, so that's
even
an
see it.
example of.
Yeah.
Okay,
see,
wait.
Odelia.
She's
Yeah,
an author writing
author.
with a pencil that can sharpen feels essential. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. You of all people.
And you know what?
You probably have colored pencils.
I'm actually a pencil hater.
Really?
I like pens. Pencils can like smudge, and I don't like it. But okay, Adelia, this is a great example. Like, if you have a social media, that's such a fun,
that's a great picture.
Cute picture that
Of
like
you
that,
writing.
and that tells me something about like how you are as an author and how you take it seriously, and you're not just writing behind Chat GPT. Like, you're really getting the spirit of, and like, why does it feel essential? Like, that's so interesting to me.
That is a
Instead
good
of
one.
posting a graphic that's like, my new book comes out in 2 months. Like, no, tell me the story of like why you feel that's essential. Tells me your writing style. Like, what do you drink in the morning when you're writing? Do you write in the morning? Do you write at the night? Like, really trying
Where
to
do you
get,
sit?
yeah, like
Yeah.
just getting into the brain of that is interesting. So
That is true. When we were talking about the your customer, it's interesting because your customer right now is an internal customer that you do marketing for.
Oh, are you saying like my position,
your
like
regular job.
my regular?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean my
Your
job
that
I'm
pays you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm.
you have to think of your internal customer, and it's all about educating them.
Yeah,
So
it's like
different.
90% education,
Yeah.
but it's also like maybe mine's actually a lot of the times, because I work for a tech company, is the opposite problem. We have great content, partners aren't reading it, or partners don't know where to find it. So it's like a whole nother beast. But you're trying to, but it's still important. Of like, for example, partner types. Like, there are, let's say, and I won't get into the nitty gritty, but like there's 3-4 partner types. Some of our content is only geared at one partner type and we're forgetting about the others. Our content is then becoming irrelevant. So it's like, look for, are you maybe alienating your true customer? And here's, I'm going to bully the village again, because to me, like,
I'll take it. Bring it
a
on.
lot of the village customers, or not customers, sorry, the village audience is people who belong to the village community already.
Right.
And maybe people who are wanting to join a co-working space or need an event space. When you're posting like yoga on Tuesdays and it's like a flyer, it's like, I'm looking on the outside being like, okay, cool, they do yoga, but like, what is it like to do yoga there? What does it look
Show
like?
a picture of
Like,
the
I'm kind of
class.
nervous to just show up to this random place that I don't know what it looks like.
What are people wearing?
Yeah, and like, are
Yeah.
you excited about the yoga class? Who's excited? Who goes? Is this thing that no one goes to? Like, I just think like showing an outside perspective to be like, oh, wow, that's fun. Like, going to the page, look, they have dogs. They're dog friendly. Oh, look, Cam, he's the front desk like guy. He seems so nice. Oh, wow, look at this cozy reading spot. I could see myself working there. Like, really trying to put yourself into that mindset.
That is a good point. Yeah. Of making sure you're just snapping pictures too of things that you're doing throughout the day.
Yeah.
Sharing
And
those.
this is an age-old tale. Like, we've been saying this to social media clients for years, but I think it's
Since
because people think they need to be
2008.
overly curated, and like, it's really okay to not be overly curated. And
What's so
in
funny
fact,
is
it's actually better.
I take so many pictures and then I don't post them.
Yeah. And
which is so
stories,
strange.
like
Yeah.
Facebook stories, Instagram stories, even like little short videos, like you should not be putting thought into your stories. That's my advice. If you're going to be putting thought into somewhere, put them in the grid. But like, your stories are such short, they're only up for 24 hours. It doesn't have to be this perfect thing. Like, really utilize stories, because also what's interesting is I think a lot of times your grid posts are being hidden. And I actually sometimes open Instagram and I only look at stories.
Right. Or reels. You get one reel and then
don't be daunted by reel. Don't be daunted by. Don't be
intimidated.
That was weird. Don't be intimidated or think that they are daunting reels, because Instagram actually makes it very easy. It doesn't have to be this like amazing like cut like effect, transition. It can literally just be like a video of you walking in, and Instagram lets you add music to it, and that's a reel.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that you go to do a post and then it says, turn this into a reel. And you're like, do I turn it into a reel?
Yeah.
Do I keep it as a post? Which one should I do? I mean, a reel is going to reach more people that aren't even following you because the person that watches one reel then starts scrolling and watching reels that they're not even connected to these people.
Yeah.
I discover so many people and go, oh my gosh, her content. Have you watched the one? She's like the Italian Jersey woman who's married to a guy, and they do these hilarious, which is again, you can't compare yourself because we cannot copy that style of video because it makes no sense for us.
Right.
But hers are hilarious because it's all.
And
the
also,
thing about
that's
her
another
husband and her.
tip. I always say this for like even interior design in your own house. So get ready. I just had a brilliant idea.
Watch out.
Okay, so let me gather my thoughts. My brain just went completely blank after I said that. Hold on, what was I saying?
Reels and copying people.
Copying people. Thank you. Woo, that was scary. My
That's my
brain
job.
literally went blank. Okay. Don't be afraid to be a copycat. That's another thing of advice. And the reason I say this with interior design.
So wait, so I said I can't copy her because it's not our style. But you're saying here's a way you can.
Here's
copy.
a way you can. And let me use interior design as an example first, then I'm going to relate it because I always tell it to my friends. Like, they'll come in my living room. They're like, wow, I love your living room, all this stuff. And it's like, funny thing is, there's a phone ringing and I don't
it's
know where
on the
it's coming
camera,
from.
and so I can't even.
Short dance break. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. You probably can. Oh, it's on your phone.
It's on that phone.
Yikes.
over
Okay.
there.
Someone answered it. It's fine.
So interior
Okay, here we go.
design in your house.
So let's say you just moved into a new house and you have the resources and you have the budget and you want to redo the space. The first place I would tell is go to Pinterest, source ideas. So go to Pinterest, make a board, and literally just post, just like go through different living room pictures and post which ones you like, or sorry, pin which ones you like. It doesn't have to be any reason. You don't have to go, oh, I could never have that house. Or I can just pin for fun. Then when you go in, you look at your board and you're like, okay, what's the overall vibe I'm looking for? Like, I like these spaces. I looks like I'm actually gravitating to blue, and it looks like I'm actually liking a lot of greenery with plants, whatever. You start narrowing it down. Then try to find something within that style. Let's say it's like, okay, you know what? This picture is kind of exactly what I'm going for. Copy the picture. Like,
oh yeah,
don't be afraid to be like, I'm gonna try to get a couch that looks just like that. It doesn't have to be the expensive one, but like, copy that. It's a light, like color. If you like the vibe and you like the overall aesthetic, like copy that aesthetic. Maybe a professional used color theory and all the things, and they did the work for you.
It's like when you worked at Havenly.
Yeah.
And we took pictures of their lobby.
Yeah.
And then we were building this space and we're like, oh, we loved that wallpaper. We ordered the exact
same one.
wallpaper.
Like, it's okay to copy things. And the reason I say this is and do it in your own way. So for example, on social media, like for the village, I found, shout out to Thrive Co-working Space. They're
Atlanta.
I think
that's where they're based. Yeah.
I think it's like their headquarters one, but they have an amazing co-working space and their Instagram is awesome. Now, our co-working spaces are very different. Our styles are very different. Even like the crowd we attract, very different. Like they're attracting very like young entrepreneur, not even entrepreneur, I would say,
or
like
tech.
Yeah, like a young tech, like me, who's like going in and just needs a desk. Like it's a very different audience, but I love the content that they're doing. Like glean ideas for that and use it in your own ways. Like jewelry company, like go look at what other fun jewelry companies are doing. Go look at what other, mom groups are doing. Go look at what other cupcake shops are doing or authors.
How can we create a video or a piece of content that looks
and it's like
the same style?
And it's like, hello, you can literally like copy ideas in your own way, and they're doing the content for you. And it's like, I love that. Of like, I literally was going through with Cam and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a simple, cute idea of like a day in the life of a community manager. And he literally showed him making himself breakfast. He got in the car, he went to his space, he was setting up the coffee. And I was like, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Copy.
So
like, that's another good, like, don't be intimidated if you're like, okay, I really don't know what to post. Like, try to find someone who's doing it in your space that does it well.
Yeah. That's a great one. Wow. You know what? I normally listen to podcasts on 1.5 speed.
I know I talk really fast.
I could never listen to yours on 1.5
That's true.
speed.
I do talk fast.
I feel like I talk fast, but
I know I talk really fast. I should slow it down. I was excited. One more tip.
She was excited.
I'm just full of information. Okay. This is another example that I use with interior design, and I think it applies to the overall feel of your spaces online, whether that's your website, whether that's your social media, whether that's your blog content. Like, look at all of your online presence and also just your business in general and come up with 5 words that, and it can be less than 5, like 3 to 5 words that
Yeah.
you want your business to feel like. For example, like in a house, I always say, like, me and John, when we were like getting all the things for our new house, we literally sat down and we said, what are like 3 to 5 words that we want people to feel when they're in our space, or that we want to feel when we're in our space? Like welcoming, um, like joyful, colorful, bright, happy. And this is very different. Like someone else's house could be like cozy, moody, warm.
Yeah.
Another space could be so like, and it feels weird because those
What
are
are the words that your brand
and
should feel like?
and so let's say you come up with those words. So like, for example, for the village, let's just like off the top of your
Yeah.
head, what would you say like are 3 to 5 words that you want when people hear the village or see the village or go into the village? Like what are words you want to associate?
Homey,
Okay.
fun,
Okay.
welcoming.
Okay. I would say like funky or like unique.
Yeah, unique.
Okay, so like homey, welcoming, unique, fun. So now write those words down, then go to your social presences, go to your website, go whatever.
He do that.
Like, does that
represent-
match?
No,
Like,
it didn't.
no, it didn't. Like in the story you're telling, I just need to like continue to shame.
Continue to shame. I'm gonna have you read Brene Brown's books.
But like that's not the story you're telling, but that's a good exercise in realizing like, oh, what I think as like, especially small business owners, like your businesses are your babies. And then
And
like
it's funny
you
how many people would say like our business is fun. Our business is, then you go in there and you're like, oh, this isn't fun.
Yeah, or like your slides even. Like, okay, let's say you're putting together a presentation and your business, you want to be connecting and fun and welcoming, and it's like a slide with a bunch of text. Like that's not giving me the vibe that you think you are. And so like the juxtaposition of those things are where you can start. Like find those words that you want to feel in those businesses, and then how can you
And use pictures. Use pictures. Because even in presentations, I always say, oh, people stop putting so much text on slides. And then you always have to say, I know you can't read that from back there. So let me read it to you. And you read it.
and I'm gonna like shout out a few business or village members, like because I'm looking at the old posts, which again, like it's fine, everything's fine, we're turning it around, but like I'm looking at it's like a quote from Brooke, a quote from like Paco and whatever, and it's like
Franz,
yeah,
Francisco.
the reason I'm saying this is like from it's easy for you to just be like, oh, we have a great like quote from Brooke who we love, and it's like, oh my gosh, show Brooke's face, she's such a cutie patootie, she's
Yeah.
so beautiful, she's so full of personality, like show Brooke doing something so Brooke-like and
Yeah.
like showcase her in that way. And instead of just using her words, even though her words might be beautiful, but like,
or maybe do a video of
yeah,
her
and that's what I
saying
mean.
those things.
So again, this is like very specific to the village. So I know it can be hard, but it's
Well,
just
any business, instead of
Yeah.
take some of your reviews, ask the person, can I just do a 10-second interview
Yeah.
of you saying something or a picture of them doing something fun?
And this
And
is
then you have
also
that.
such a good, like you use this all the time. And I think about it still when I do my content, even in my everyday job of like, okay, sit back. If you're wanting to create some content and you kind of want to do like a loose strategy, what are 10 FAQs? What are
Yeah.
10 FAQs that you're getting from your customers or from your audience a lot, or like problems that you feel like they are wanting to solve?
Always think though of your customers. What are they asking?
Yeah, not you.
Sometimes we think,
Uh-huh.
oh, people are asking these questions and they're really technical or full of jargon. It's like, no, what do people type in Google?
Yeah, and like what are they wanting to see? That's the content they
And
they
create that
wanna put out.
content.
Yeah. So.
Create, if you have 10 FAQs, that's 10 blog posts, it's 10 videos,
Mhm.
it's 10 podcasts. Yeah, that's great starter content when somebody has a brand. I was just telling somebody, Katsu, he's starting his own business as a CPA. And he said, I don't even know what type of content. And I said, write 10 FAQs.
And as
then-
a CPA, like unless you're like bursting with personality, like you don't need to be on Instagram.
True. That's true.
Like-
that would not be the place for him.
No, and like
No.
but I think a lot of people fall into that
LinkedIn.
trap where
He
it's
should
like,
go to LinkedIn.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he could crush it on LinkedIn or
Right.
Twitter or do like just finding the right spaces, and then you won't get bullied as much by me because your content will be in the right place.
And if you want to be bullied, just write in, and we will have Bailey
I
do
will rip
weekly
you apart.
bullying for you.
No, it's
but
all
yeah,
it's all in good fun and good love because
So
I know
graphics are
because
dead, people.
but here's why your graphics are dead, because when I look at some of the event bulletin boards in here and they're full of clunky graphics with a lot. Even if it's a good graphic, like
It is
it's a
interesting.
graphic,
Our,
and then
our bulletin board is a great one. We have people post flyers, and they're so wordy that I never have
Yeah.
read any of them.
and like literally, like I think about if there was on the flyer, literally just like a picture of
A
you like
giant
doing this
picture,
or like
yeah.
something crazy, I'd probably be like, what is that?
What
Or
is
like
that?
if literally your flyer could just be like you like pointing to a QR code, and like I'd be interested to be like, what's
You go.
happening?
It's kind of like seeing on TV just a website, and you're like,
Yeah,
what
and
is
like you're
that?
really wanting
know.
to stop people in their tracks, and it doesn't have to be this like huge professional way, but like curated enough of like what's gonna make people really stop. And if you're talking to someone in the space for seeing a flyer text, it's a big difference.
There you go. Wow. Okay. Well,
So
on that
yeah,
note,
so on that,
I hear the trolley that is way past due.
yeah, the trolley's way past due, and you guys are going to have to slow down this episode so that you can understand.
We just made it to the newsstand. We kind of did things a little backwards because we couldn't contain her
Oh,
enthusiasm.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know we had an agenda.
It doesn't. We
I
ever
got
do
carried
we follow an agenda
away.
here? No. But now we're going to just share some business news and ways you can implement that, lessons you can learn. First one, have you ever received an edible arrangement?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Mhm.
Oh, it's like, I don't think maybe I have here.
It's usually, yeah,
Maybe somebody brought one here. But
yeah, for sure.
do people love edible arrangements?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
The fruit is trash.
Yes.
The fruit
It's
is
usually
so
very
bad.
bland.
Yeah,
And I don't like honeydew, so there's usually too much honeydew.
there's too much honeydew.
Andrea hates with a passion cantaloupe.
Oh, I really like
Me
cantaloupe.
too. So I think it's funny. So
But even like the pineapple there, they have like these cute little. Because honestly, I love the idea of edible arrangements.
the idea is great.
I love the
Except
idea.
for the fact that this open fruit, somebody's hands, I'm
Oh,
sure they wear gloves.
See, that doesn't bother me.
but
It's
my
more like
germaphobe starts coming out.
I
going,
like the
"Oh, that's kinda
creativity of
gross."
that, like an edible arrangement. But like, why is it always bad
It
fruit?
should just be chocolate. But edible arrangements, they had to buy the URL edible.com recently. They just bought it because it was held by a squatter. So they must have had ediblearrangements.com. Now it's edible. Yeah. And if you are listening have like edible arrangements, I'm curious to know, because I'm always like, do people ever eat these? They just look really cool, but then
Yeah.
nobody eats them. Well, now they're getting into the edibles space.
Oh,
They're
really?
going to start delivering edibles. I'm not sure how. Are they going to arrange them in bouquets, little edible gummies like I guess all edibles are THC. So this
Wait,
is where
that's so
Taylor would be
interesting.
very knowledgeable here.
That's super
You would
interesting.
not. Yeah, they're edible.
gonna
They
research
they
that.
bought the URL edibles.com. They're going to start delivering edibles. And
I'm looking at their website because do they only still just do the fruit?
no, now they're in the edible space. It is just it's always been just fruit. Yeah. And now their URL.
It's kind of a wild jump of like, we're just doing fruit. We're just doing fruit. We're doing edibles.
We're doing edibles, so then you'll want more fruit.
But I'm like,
Not sure. But now
It feels-
edibles is right now they're rolling it out in Texas and Atlanta, and then they're going to do Southeast. I'm not sure why Colorado got
I
skipped.
was-
So it's kind of interesting.
yeah, that's kind of.
But they are delivering edibles. Yeah, on their website it's still all
Your website looks like it's from 2001.
or 1990.
Speaking of bullied,
Yeah, they could be bullied.
they could be bullied a bit. Dang, that's
Yeah,
their
it is
website's
interesting.
really
So
good.
that was interesting news. Skims.
That is
Do you
interesting.
own any Skims?
I don't, but I'm so jealous of anyone who does. I want to own Skims. I'm on the bandwagon.
I have
everyone I
Skims.
know who has it is obsessed.
Yeah, they're the softest underwear, great bras.
Like
and
even
then
their like
t-shirts.
loungewear.
I
They're
think I have a t-shirt, like a t-shirt, but
Yeah, it's like
extra
that.
thick,
Yeah.
silky material, and then it's a little more like snuggy, so
Yeah.
it kind of
Well, it started as shapewear. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dad now has some Skims.
Yeah. Skims guys has great
Yeah,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
then they partnered with Nike, and they
Yes.
partnered with, I want to say, Patagonia
Yeah, which is weird because the
um,
Skims Nike
outdoor. Like
I'm pretty
coats
sure
and
it's like literally the name they came up with was like Skims Nike.
They did. Yeah, super creative.
Nike Skims.
Nike Skims. Okay.
That's the
But guess what? Nike's making a revival because Nike was hurting for certain. Adidas was kicking their butt. Or
listen. You can say
Adidas.
whatever you want about Kim Kardashian. She's a genius.
She's a genius.
and
a
I have a
billion-dollar
hot
industry.
take, and this is another thing. Look me in the eyes if you don't like Kim Kardashian. Like, give the girl some credit.
She's an attorney.
No, but like seriously, everyone's like,
She's a
she just got famous because blah blah blah. And it's like a lot of
She did, and then she ran with it.
Yeah, like a
did
lot of
something.
people got famous for maybe not so great things, but then they did nothing with it. Like, sorry, but everything she touches turns to gold. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's a little out of fashion to be I can't talk. A Kardashian hater.
That's true.
Like, if you still think it's cool to be like, Kardashians are stupid, like, grow up.
Well, especially because they've all become billionaires.
Yeah, and their
genius makeup
businesses are amazing.
lines,
Like,
and yeah.
the cream rises.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, the fact that she has a flagship store in New York
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's, like, doing well.
guess what? Speaking of New York, her latest partnership
Crazy.
is with Wall Street. And
Really?
she's coming out
Skims
with Skims
specifically?
Wall Street. It's a whole
No
line
way.
of business wear. So
No
shirts,
way. I'm looking at this
yes,
right now.
shirts, pants, socks, everything. Skims Wall Street. So
Also, if you want a good Instagram, gosh,
that's what I mean.
their social
If
media
you
is
go to
so
Skims, you
good.
look at their, but again, it's a product that's so easy because it's like jewelry. You just show pictures
Has
of
it
the
not
product
launched
and
yet?
beautiful people. They just came out with it. Yeah, here we go. Doesn't
No
that
way.
Skims Wall Street? So that's going to be probably hot items for your holiday
No
shopping.
way.
Yeah, in December. I know. John he could rock, and Dad
He
they
could.
could rock Skims
That's
Wall
so
Street.
smart.
Yeah. So Skims Wall Street, that was one of them. And then I'm going to just give a little
Really fun.
AI tip for you.
Okay.
About, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months ago, we talked about Notebook LM, and it's a Google product, Notebook LM. If you Google Notebook LM, it is the craziest thing. You can upload a PDF. So I uploaded my latest book.
Wait, sorry. When did you get this news of the Skims Wall Street?
Yesterday.
So it's not like an April Fool's thing?
No, it's not.
Okay, because sorry, I can't find anything online about it, so I'm just like getting
Did
a
you
little...
Google Skims Wall Street partnership? It's not Wall Street. It's
I
not
just
the
like got scared. I was like,
brand.
oh no, I think you got
No,
duped.
it's legit. Yeah.
Sure?
Positive.
You
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
I'm not finding it.
It's their next big
here we
launch.
go.
You're going to start seeing lots of stuff coming out.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I interrupted you, but
that's
I
right.
was
So
scared.
so
Okay.
Notebook LM, if you upload their any PDF into Notebook LM, so I uploaded my whole book as a product, or not a product, but as a PDF, and then Notebook LM turns it into a podcast. There's two characters, a male and a female voice, and they sound so real. They're bantering, they're laughing, and it's AI. It's all AI. They're talking about my book when I uploaded my book. You can take any research document, upload it into Notebook LM, and it'll create a podcast. Now, what I love about this is they now, it's gotten even better, but you can now be the call-in guest on this website, on this podcast, to learn something. So let's just imagine I want to learn about how to launch my own online course. First thing I would do is call Brooke Burnt, because she's great at helping you get that launched. If I want to learn about how to do that, I would find documents, and I would, put them into Notebook LM. So it's creating a podcast. I'm going to go on a walk and I'm going to listen to this so I can learn while I'm listening. But then I could interrupt this podcast by pushing a button and say, so does that mean that I would first protect my intellectual property? How does this protect my intellectual property? What are some things I could do? And the two podcast hosts answer your question as if you're a call-in.
Oh, that's interesting.
So super cool, especially for learning. I think this would be a great tool for high school students or college students who are trying to learn something that's really dense content. Take the content, upload it into Notebook LM, and then have them listen to it, and they can ask any question
That's so interesting.
of the podcast hosts that are all AI generated, but they can be the call-in guest, ask questions, learn from their answers, and it's all based on the content. They're taking the context from this document or multiple documents. You can upload a bunch of documents into this. So copy them into a Google Doc, save it as a PDF, upload it into Notebook LM, and it will help you learn something. So I thought that was really helpful if you are an audio learner and you like to listen to podcasts and you're wanting to just give me a 15-minute podcast on this instead of a 80-page document.
Wow, that's really
really
I'm
easy.
gonna use that.
I know.
Trying to understand this
I was thinking of you with all the tech stuff you're having to learn.
I mean, ChatGPT and Grok from Twitter are my best friends.
Yes. What you have to be careful of when you work for a company, and I'm curious, have they had you
Oh yeah,
go through AI
so many
policies?
people put private internal things onto ChatGPT, just thinking it's a tool that no one can see. Like it's danger.
Yeah,
Danger.
danger.
If
It
you have
has to be
internal like
content-
sensitive content,
don't upload
it
them
into-
into any of these type of public tools. You want to ask your company, what is their AI policy? Do they have private channels? Have they paid for a language model that they use? And so you can upload them into that. But if it's public information,
if it's public information,
blog
it's okay.
content, you can take blog content, you can take all your blog content that's on a public site, upload it into it because it's already out there. It's already been used by these learning models. So then you could say, I want to listen to a podcast about this, and it's going to teach you all about it. So
I mean, AI is
super
like
cool. Yeah.
Get on board, people. You're not too old to use it or understand it.
No,
like, seriously.
And it's getting easier and easier. You're not having to become this prompt engineer. I remember a couple months ago, people were like, I need to.
Well, I remember when
become a prompt
ChatGPT came out, I was like, oh, it seems like kind of complicated. I mean, I use it basically every day, and like you can use it for your social media.
Social media to write something and then take that and reword it. The other day I used it I was trying to write a job description. And I went in and I just put in the job description as I was thinking of it.
Yeah.
And then it created this really great, thorough
or even
job description.
Like, let's say you wanted a content plan. You could literally go into ChatGPT and say, and I like to hype ChatGPT up. I'm like, you're my marketing assistant. You're amazing.
Yeah.
And I say, can you come
You're awesome.
Here's going back to the 3 to 5 words that describe your business. Here's what I want my overall vibe to be on my page. Smart, fun, whatever. Forgot about the words. Can you create
a social media
10 social media post ideas for the week that I can do? And it literally will give you great ideas.
And it will give you great ideas that tie those words into your content strategy. Yeah. And then from those, you can even say, can you suggest types of images?
Like that's a simple way to
should I be taking? And it'll
like
give you ideas.
It's free. Like it's free.
I always assume everyone can think of lots of ideas. And
no, and a lot of people can't.
So use these tools.
Tell them your audience. Tell them what you're going for. Even say, can you give me some ideas of photos that I can take on my own phone that would help promote this event? Like they can do it. So anyways, that's super interesting. Notebook LM.
Yeah. Notebook LM. It's a tool by Google.
What does the LM stand for?
Learning model, I think.
Learning machine.
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's super
Notebook LM. Learning model. I think it's learning model, but
interesting.
Yeah. So there's your content for the day, your tips for the day. Anything exciting that you're doing this week?
Oh, you really put me on the spot there. Yeah. Exciting.
I don't know. Do you have any big plans? I'll tell you what mine are because I just wanted to say this.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I get to be a judge.
Oh my gosh.
For Miss and Ms. No, I think it is Miss and Mrs. Colorado. I'm a judge on Thursday all day. There's like total of 50 contestants because half of them are Miss Colorado and they all seem like they're in college age range. And then there's the Mrs. Colorado and the age ranges. There's some women in their 60s,
that's crazy.
Late 60s. And it's so cool to
And you're
read
doing a
their bios.
pageant. Like describe what
I mean, I'm not in the pageant, but yes, it is the Miss and Mrs. Colorado pageant. And I am one of the judges. So I had to read all their bios and come up with questions for each contestant. They will all on Thursday. It's all day on Thursday. And they have to do their swimsuit, their ball gown, and their questions.
I've gone to one of these and honestly, it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, super. I've never been to one. I've never been a pageant person. So I'm really excited. I'm now
next thing you know, she's going to be a pageant and play.
I know. I should probably.
You should ask, compete. Like, what do you wear as a judge?
Well, they said to wear cocktail or they didn't say ball gown, so I don't want to come in sequence like I'm competing. But I have a couple dresses.
Just
I may have
wear
to
a crown.
I'll show
just
you.
To show who's really in
charge. I know Dad said that. He said,
really?
"Are you going to say this is the queen? I'm the queen judge." And then Saturday, that's the finals on Saturday, and it's downtown at the Opera. Yeah, the Opera House.
Wow.
So yeah, super exciting.
Well, yeah, my plans are not that exciting. Yeah. Probably like go to the park. Although actually, I think it's going to be bad weather, so.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to see if I can get Dad in on a ticket on Saturday.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then I want him to introduce me as this is my queen. Someday he's going to do that. I always tell him that. I heard a rapper say that he introduced his wife or girlfriend and my queen. And I told Dad, wait, when have you've never introduced me as my queen?
He like probably has actually.
No, he hasn't. Probably has. Kirk Shrek, if you're listening,
well,
your queen wants you to introduce
your queen. Your queen has a lot of demands.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys are doing okay after being bullied for an hour straight.
Yeah.
And
We're all gonna go take a shower because we're all sweating.
yes. And
after that.
if you ever want to be bullied more, feel free to stop in. I will rip your business to shreds. No, I'm just
And
kidding.
you'll love it.
I'm kidding.
You'll thank her for it. Just like
I'm
I do. I'm so
kidding.
glad. I'm so glad to be bullied by you.
Which, quick shout out, head to the new and improved Village Workspace Instagram. Give us some love.
Give us some
I'm gonna do
love.
a shout out, seriously, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have over 2,000 followers and like crickets. Where is everyone? Oh, we forgot them. We left them to the wayside. Anyway, come please
Follow, like, and comment
like.
just on all the new ones that
Yeah,
you
and
can
just
see that Bailey's doing.
see the beautiful
You
work.
go, oh
in
wow, I
them.
can tell which ones Bailey posted.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
So it's the Village Workspace. It's really hard to find us. The Village Workspace.
Yes.
On Instagram, Facebook, any of those. And until next week, have fun in the neighborhood.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Look, bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.